Greetings, Masandawana. We are back with another installment of the Yellow Corner, bringing you the preview of our last game of the first game block of the season as we travel to Cape Town to take on Stellenbosch FC on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock at Athlone Stadium. Today, I am making changes just like Cardoso, and I am joined by Malums, who's coming live from the farm. So please bear with us if you hear cows, goats in the background. Malums, feeder, you guys in Pretoria, you're the only ones who say feeder. I grew up in the Val, we say feeder, and everyone else in the country says feeder. Kilona fela batho ba Pitori wa feeder, but feeder.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thanks again for the invite. I take this as an invite, but I know I'm part of the family. But otherwise, you as a family, for you to be there, you must be invited. You just cannot just rock up and make it if like this is your house. So I have to honor the invite. And yeah, thanks again. And then some about to go the plus C. Don't do that.
Okay, yes, please. Yeah, man. Your thoughts on our game against Kaizer Chiefs? Because for me, it was same old Sundowns like we've seen in the last 6, 7, 8 months or so, playing without purpose, moving the ball around the back five with no clear plan or ideas of how to progress it through the thirds, and yeah, man, same old Sundowns playing absolutely haram, man. That's all I can say. There's nothing else that I can say apart from that. Your thoughts?
My brother, it's hard. It's hard when you have to watch your favorite team with a painful heart, watching your team not being able to recognize it. Like, I am lost. I am lost even of words how to describe what's happening current, because this is not the Sundowns I've been watching in the last 8 years. This is not the Sundowns that I've watched in the last 2 years. You look at the individuality, they look lost. You look at the technical team, they are lost. So if the technical team and the players are lost, obviously me as a supporter, me as a person that is sitting at home, obviously now I'll be lost. I won't be able to recognize what's happening. So the game last night, I watched because I love the team, and I will die for the team as a supporter. But it's not one of those good matches where I can say we had so many positives. You can only count 4 positives, but other than that, it was horrible. We couldn't bypass their press. We couldn't string passes. 10 passes, like 10 passes, stringing them. We are failing to do that. We are not creating enough chances. Like, players, the confidence is not even there. So there's a lot that I can say. It might even need me a day to speak about it. But yeah, I am not happy. That's what I can say.
I know we are not. We are all not happy, Malums. You know. Previously, you could cover the faces of Sundowns players and put them in a different kit and have them play against any other team. And within 5 minutes or within 10 minutes of watching, I'll tell you that's Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. This club that's wearing Sundowns colors and all that, using emblem as Sundowns, I do not know it. And yeah, man, someone sent me a very funny tweet. Yeah, Sandile. I'm gonna put it up actually. Where Sandile went to the game yesterday, and he said at some stage he started counting the players that Chiefs because he felt like more than Barona ground. He left the stadium early, got to the parking, couldn't find his car, and he thought the car was stolen. Like everyone is there, Sundowns. At the end of the game, at the press conference, our coach Miguel Cardoso said something very, very interesting, and I am gonna quote him. He said, why am I obliged to win every game and be judged by that? Other people can draw, and we are not judged the same. Those were his words. For me, the moment a Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates coach says that, then just know they shouldn't be where they are, because they clearly do not understand the magnitude of the club and the job at hand. And a coach like that should go to a club where there's no pressure and he can do as he pleases and without any pressure from the fan base management and everyone around the club. Because we are Mamelodi Sundowns, Malums. We win matches, but we don't just win matches. We win matches in style. We win cups. We dominate, man. We are a big club, you know. And for him to have said what he said, man, like he took me back to this Mamelodi Sundowns. His Sundowns that I'm watching right now, Cardoso Sundowns. This is the late Henry Michel Sundowns. He took me back here, man. This was a dark period for Mamelodi Sundowns football club, because we are playing shocking, terrible football, you know. Like this period, and this one was even much better, because I think this was the season after Cove where we challenged Kila, a top goal scorer, and Sianda breakthrough season, you know. But the Sundowns that I'm seeing right now is not different to the Sundowns. And I use these jerseys for the background deliberately, because that is what I'm seeing from Sundowns Cardoso, man. Your thoughts on what Cardoso said, especially that statement, why is he obliged to win every game?
Well, you cannot sit at Mamelodi Sundowns and not want to win matches. We have created a culture that ours is to dominate whoever we face. So I'm not sure about him anymore. I feel like he has dipped his head with what he said. I feel like he has given up. He has told us what here is me. My race stops here. I have come to my finish. Because when you are appointed as a Mamelodi Sundowns coach, you are obviously gonna be told about the history. You're gonna be told about the coaches that were there before you. That this was the mandate and this is what we wanted from them. So as you come here, you have to take up the standard. So you look at the win rate that Rulani had versus Chiefs. You look at the win rate that Mangoba had versus Chiefs, and you look at his. It's shocking. He's dropping the standard. So he must question that. If the supporters are questioning, why am I not winning matches? And then you have to go back and look at what the other coaches did versus that team. Chiefs is our Hulu team. Chiefs is our biggest competitor in the league. So when we play Chiefs, now we accept the full 3 points. We don't want any excuses. So if you want to come and tell us that you are not obliged to do that, then why are you sitting there as our coach? Why are you there? Rather go to Chippa or go to Magesi or go to teams where there's no pressure, as we've mentioned. Go to teams where they don't have the ambition to win CAF Champions League. The teams that have no ambition of winning the league. I know Magesi wishes to win a league some point, but they know what they have to face a Sundowns that wants to win this thing every. We didn't win this the league for 8 times in a row. The team or Neri chance. We showed up. So if he feels like he's not obliged to win, then the door is wide open. The yellow gate there by Clarkop can be open for him, and then he moves and gives the space to someone that feels he can have balls enough to hold some Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, no, Cardoso in that press conference. I'm not gonna lie with that statement, you know. And yeah, his head is in mass, you know. He's triggered, you know. He's really triggered, man. But looking at our opposition for this coming weekend, Stellenbosch FC, how do they always get it so right when Amalums? Why? What makes them such a good football club? Not just a team that plays Kamo grounding, but everything in and around that football club. What makes them so good in all aspects?
Well, let's take it to a corporate world. A good company excels or has a massive production from the boardroom. If the boardroom is doing their duties so very well, definitely everything will be good. The sales will be up there, the production will be up there because everyone is doing their task. So I believe with Stellenbosch, the boardroom, the people in the back staff, they are doing their jobs diligently. You look at how they scout players. They are one of the best teams in the league when they profile players. Like they understand what they need for the club. So I believe for them to be at the position that they are, selling every season their best players, and then again coming to compete, not dropping the ball. We have to command the scouting department. We have to command the people that are supporting the team in terms of finances, in terms of recruitment. And also we have to command Steve Barker. Steve Barker, since he came to the top division, to the Premier League, he has been improving. He has been showing that he's a coach that is growing in his coaching. He's a coach that is improving players. So it's a collective thing that keeps Stellenbosch afloat as it is now. So I have to command the back room, command Steve Barker. Obviously, it's good for a South African coach to be in such a good momentum, to be in such a good state. So yeah, the collectiveness, it's what makes them to be a better team. Also with the players, it's a well oiled, well drilled, combined team. In all departments, that team is exciting.
I fully agree with you, Malums. Everything that you've said, I agree with you to the team, and they're a properly run club. You know, they employ highly qualified people for the positions. More club. Now and then, I always go to their website and go and check out people that they've employed and look at the qualifications and so on. And they employ people who know their jobs, who focus on their jobs, who don't focus on other jobs that have nothing, that don't have anything to do with them. You know, I do not think Steve Barker has a sporting director during a big game at halftime who will come from the suit and to the tunnel and say to him, substitute so and so and bring on so and so. I don't think when Steve Barker is preparing for the biggest game of the season, he has a sporting director who will say to him, this is the approach that we will use. This is the lineup that I think you should go with. I do not think Steve Barker has a sporting director who says to him, Stage Stevens is too old. Do not use him. His reflexes are not good now. You know, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have someone who tells him, oh, this player is too old. He's slowing us down. You know, but yeah, man, they are a properly run club, and one can another thing. Or they have an amazing academy, you know, that keeps bringing and producing quality players, you know. But most importantly for me, when it comes to playing field, they have a proper succession plan, you know. Hey, Pirates, come take Van Rooyen, Sundowns, take Adams, take Basadin. We're not worried. We've got Mdaka, who's been sitting on the bench looking at Basadin. We'll go get Tato Kiba, who will be a great replacement for Jaden Adams. You know, there's Eninaya, who has been watching Van Rooyen. So we're not worried. I can bet my last cent whether they have already earmarked replacement their air Titus. They already have a replacement their air Titus right now. We don't know who, but Bona, they already have that replacement. So yeah, man, this is one team, this is one project that excites me the most in South African football. You know, I just wish they had supporters or a fan base at Swananglia, Siwelele, you know, people from Bloemfontein who will rally behind that team, man. Malums, has the quality of our squad currently improved, or is it the same level as it was last season, or it has dropped from last season?
There's a regression, my brother. There's a serious dip in form. How? Huh? There's no way. Like there's no way we don't look like a team that broke records in the last 2 seasons. So the quality is there, but now it looks like quantity. So I haven't seen any improvement prior to what to Club World Cup, and now there's no improvement. Like it seems like everyone is moving at gear one. I would be lying. Like seriously, there's no improvement for me. Like I'm even questioning myself. I thought uh Tebza would have notched it higher now, but it seems like he's moving at the gear that he's like someone who's coming from an injury. I thought Allende's ceiling was gonna be higher, but it seems like he's reaching it, and then that's it. Adams came in first 5 games proper. We were saying like now this is it, but our doesn't work. We're changing defense, pairing every game. Like our it's regressing. We have to be honest. We don't have to shy away from the truth. This is not the Mamelodi Sundowns way. Like the quality, it's not there. We know the players are quality, but quality football, it's not there.
I know it has dropped, man. We'd be lying if we say the quality has improved, and it doesn't help. Ribeiro's X factor is no longer there, so it makes it even worse, And what bothers me the most is that we've released so many players, so many players without replacing them, And then you have Cardoso, who every now and then speaks about mental fatigue, I, at the end of the Chiefs game in that very same press conference, he spoke about niggling injuries and other injuries, and he mentioned a lot of players. So you are mentioning so many injuries, yet you still want to trim the squad, like make it make sense to me. We have so many injuries. We had a very short off season, next to nothing pre-season, but you want to reduce the squad, and like it doesn't make sense to me. I will I will always side with him on this one. He didn't have, he had a very short season off season and no preseason. That's a fact, That's a fact. We do not expect Sundowns to play the best football that we've seen Sundowns play in the past, like right now. But from last season, Sundowns was not impressive as Alagamo ground though. And we're seeing the same thing late this season, And no, we've dropped, and I am worried, man. This is going to be a very, very long season for Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club, and it seems like it'll gala season kaofela re tshwere dipelo ka matsogo, so because no, I won't say our feet. But looking ahead to the game, when Malums, what do you expect from this game?
Well, this is gonna be an exciting game, my brother. I've been watching Stellenbosch. These guys, the way they condition them, like the way they prepare them for the season, it's amazing. It's amazing. They might come very slow in your first half, but second half they know how to notch up the tempo. They know how to notch up the intensity. So I believe this is gonna be a game that is gonna stretch us tactically. It's gonna stretch us physically. It's gonna stretch us in the way how we want to approach the game itself. So we're gonna come against Steve Barker that won't back down to say this is Sundowns is not in good form. He's gonna come at us, looking at how we have started, looking at how we are posing ourselves, looking at how we play. So it's a game that is gonna lit up the season for me. Like it's gonna be a game that we are hoping to have seen in the past few games at the beginning of the season. So this is the game that is gonna test us and put us alight how are we moving with Cardoso? How are we planning to deal with this Stellenbosch, since it's one of those teams that we find it difficult playing them. We know these guys, they know how to stress Sundowns. They know how to put Sundowns in their toes. So you look at their midfield, it's exciting. You know, the interchange of roles between Mtian and Kiba. And then you look at the energy that Ginono Palai is bringing. He's another player that we must take note. In the next coming 2 seasons, that player, I don't see him playing for Stellenbosch as well. So you look at him, the energy, the agility, the you find a number 8 that is good at dribbles, he's good at winning duels, he's good at arriving in the box. It's a profile that we need in South Africa. So he's exciting. Jabbar, whom I thought we would have maybe signed him 3 seasons back. I spoke about him as well, that he's a player that he's so very good. So you look at those profiles that they have in there, and then you look at also Devin Titus, of the X factor that he has, the growth that he's posing now. Like I was one person that criticized him very harshly last season, that his decision making is not good. But I've been looking and seeing him is growing, very good in decision now. His anticipation is very good. He knows how to position himself, and he has a very good eye for the target. So it's gonna be a game that will stretch us. So I need not to mention more about Dion, how he's good is, but it's a game that will stretch us. I believe we should be ready enough for this game. You know, we might win the midfield battle, but the defensive side of things, we have to be good in that aspect.
Yeah, no, I, for the first time ever, I have notes about the opponents and nothing on Mamelodi Sundowns. So,
It's the
yeah,
same
no.
with me. It's the same with me. I only have notes about the opponent. With us, I'll just have to rely on Modimon Tuse. Like I was telling Maestro last night, we're playing Modimon Tuse football, just hoping for that miracle to happen. So now I only have notes about the opponent. Honestly, I have to be honest. That's how dejected I am. That's how I'm unsure of how we are going to approach this game.
Yeah, no, Malums, I was the ones in Mabafetu. I think they will be very confident coming to this game, having seen us, like you said, in the last few games, and with how we struggle to come up with the ball from the first third, I expect them to press us really high, with Titus, with Nku, with Kiba, as well as Diog, and our rest defense is poor, as we all know. What worries me now is that the fact that the transition is one of their main strengths, and they've got pace to burn, on the wide channels with Mku and Titus. I expect them to do what they normally do, which is overload the white spaces, more so Daga and Titus on the left, as well as Nkuli Inaya on the right, Moloisane will obviously be a threat ka the long throw wins, on the right. Um, the target most of the time for the long throw wins would be Enyinaya for the flickons, and then on the left, the side of the benches, the target is Dion for the flickons, and they are so good at that. And Dion also poses that the very same threat that he set pieces. He's always the target, Morpheus Polum for the flickons. I don't know how many goals they've scored from that move. It is very predictable. They do it every game, but it's difficult for the opponents to stop it, And Enyinaya, man, has become, suddenly this season, he's become a huge threat in the box when they have the corners. In the first game of the season against Chiefs, his header was saved off the line. He scored against Sekhukhune in the first leg, a corner from Nku. Second leg against Kukune, MTN 8 almost scored from corner kick Nku. Just that Titus couldn't get to the ball. So they will pose so many questions to Mamelodi Sundowns. From Mamelodi Sundowns, and then Titus, I don't have to say anything about that boy, that kid. He's a very good player, man. He's a very, very good player. And I'm scared of that boy going into this game, And like you said, from Sundowns, I honestly expect Mudimun to say football. Let's get into the lineups, Malums. Your lineup?
I have Williams, Modiba as our left back, Zuko as our right back, and pairing of Ukoza and Cupido. It was good to see. Like that's a positive that I will take from last night match. They posed themselves very well. They showed that we need to move somewhere. We need to have some dynamism, have dynamic way how we approach the game. So also look at the midfield. I will have Mokoena and his compatriots, Adams and Allende, because there's no way that we are rotating this midfield. And now when you look at our midfield, it is tired. It is without options. It is without defensive tactics. It is without. We're not winning the duels. We are not winning the turnovers. We are not good in rest defense. So I don't know if we don't shake this midfield and give others that are there a chance. Then I honestly don't know how we can change for better. So Mokoena, Allende, and Adams in midfield. Front three, I will bring Mabena. Who's it? God's will. I believe if I can have Mabena, someone who will not like hog the line that much, someone who will counter God's will more on his left foot, because I've seen like he has some weaknesses having to defend inside his left foot. So bringing Mabena, someone that will always look to target his weaker foot, will be a plus for us. So I will have Mabena, have Salis, our best player so far, and have Mutiba. I feel Renas, man, he hasn't been himself. So maybe starting off the bench, coming in as a sub, will bring him back to his form. Because I like how Mutiba has played in the games that he has come as a sub. His hold-up play is good. His passing is good. It shows Uri, it's someone that has played in Europe, someone that has developed so well in Europe. So if someone plays well, let's show merit. Give them the platform to show you what can they do for you in 45 minutes. So if he plays first half, I'll be happy. Just give him 45 minutes. Let's weigh our options, because also Shalolil is frozen up. We don't know. So I'll definitely start that front three.
All right. Okay. Honestly, I do not have a lineup. Cardoso can field whoever he decides to field, and whoever he feels can do as they please ground on, because I'm sick and tired of stressing myself about who can be asked, and yeah, man. Score predictions, Malums.
Oh, no. I've never felt this way with Sundowns, but I feel like we're going for a 1-1 draw.
I haven't predicted. I can't remember the last time. We've been doing this for almost 5 years. And I think in that period, I haven't predicted Sundowns to lose in more than 3 occasions, I think. But sadly, I see us losing this game 2-1. And yeah, going into the international break like that, despondent and all that. I hope they prove me wrong, but yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking 30 minutes of your time to watch me and Malums talk football. And the next time you will see us will be in 3 weeks' time on the 18th of September, as we bring you the preview of our first game of the second game block of this season, as we travel to Bloemfontein to take on Marumo Gallants. Until then, sharp Masandawana, sharp Malums, and thank you.
Sharp.